Hello everyone, my name is Jayesh Patil. Welcome to this web tutorial and the topic is detecting animals on side of the road for avoidance of hitting. And the basic objective is to avoid collision between animals and vehicle on the road. So these are the abstract. So we can say that one serious problem all of the developed nations are facing today is injuries and death due to road accidents. The collision between animal and vehicle is one of the big issue that we all are facing today. So there is a need for the system which can automatically detect an animal on highways to prevent animal vehicle collision. So this web tutorial mostly focused on simple and cost-effective system for animal detection using computer vision technique. So these are the table of contents. So let's start with the introduction part. So nowadays the primary focus of automobile design is on safety and comfort mechanism. So this approach leads us to development of intelligent vehicle based on modern and technology. So due to increase in number of vehicles and absence of any intelligent highway alert system, road accidents are increasing day by day. And this diagram shows the number of accidents. And here we can clearly see that 10% of the total road accident deaths in the world. So this diagram shows the percentage of total number of accidents survey. So according to this survey, the significant percentage of road accidents are due to animal on the road and absence of any intelligent highway alert system and driver inattentions. And this is the previous work that some of the researchers had tried to implement the similar system. So basically an application based on intelligent highway safety alert system helps to solve different real life problems, and the basis for most of the application is detect animals on the side of the road and detects animal in images and videos. So one of the research study shows that the researchers had tried to find the animal's presence in the image that affects the power spectrum of the image. So this method is also considered as not appropriate because it requires large amount of image processing in small period. So the researchers had detected the face of animal, and once the animal face has been detected, the researchers keeps track of it. So this technique is basically inappropriate because face detection requires animals to see in the camera, which is not essentially captured by camera mounted on the road or vehicle. So another group of researchers in Saudi Arabia implemented a camel vehicle accident avoidance system. So basically what they have done is they have find the number of collision between camel and vehicle and was so researchers implemented a deployable CVAS, that is camera vehicle accident avoidance system, and make use of two technologies, that is GPS and GPRS, to detect camel position and then transmit that to the CVAS server consequently. And then the server checks the camel position and decides to warn the drivers through activating and warning system if the camel is in the danger zone. And so this method is also inappropriate because deploying this CVAS on a great scale is it's too much costly. So in another group of researchers tried to develop the same similar system in which they uses mounted web cameras in target areas from where animal can cross their boundary. Then these videos are sent to processing unit. Then it uses image mining algorithm which identifies the change in the set of reference background. So if there is any change in the newly acquired image, then the authors are applying content based retrieval algorithm to identify the animal. So this system suffers from many issues like unsatisfactory queuing performance and all. So if the if there is a dissimilarity between the search image and the database image, and due to low quality of recovery results. So just because of all these reasons, this approach is not considerable because the response time is in minutes when the database is too large. So let's move to the challenges part. So there are some challenges to implement this system, that is to uh, detect animal on the highways and to avoid the collision between animals and vehicles. So one of the biggest challenge is detection of an animal as compared to other object is more difficult because animal comes in different size, color and shape and unpredictable behavior. So the basic shape and size of animal are not that much average and standard like human. So although various practical solutions for automatic pedestrian detection on highways are available, but still research related to automatic animal detection on highway is still going on. And the last challenge uh, is animal detection in wildlife, or we can say that animal detection in control area have been tried in the past, but the challenges are much more when we are trying to detecting animals on highways, that is the uncontrolled area, because on highways both the animals as well as camera mounted on vehicle are moving apart from each others. That's why this is one of the biggest challenge. So these are the different scenarios and consequences of how animal and vehicle can how animal and vehicle can collide on highways and roads. So animal vehicle collision can be classified using two ways. So the first way is direct collision and the another way is indirect collision. So it, in direct collision, it happens when the vehicle directly hits the animal. So these are the three cases for the direct collision. So in the first case, vehicle hits the vehicle hits the animal and animal gets thrown to the side. This scenario may be less crucial, but damages will be there. So this figure shows the scenario 1, and in case 2, vehicle hits the animal and animal jumps or race in the air and again gets back or fall back on the vehicle. So this is quite a critical and dangerous scenario and can cause the death of animal. So this figure 3 is related to the case 2, and in case 3, vehicle hits the animal and runs over the animal. In this case, a particular injury will occur to the animal. It may also happen that because of the impact of collision, vehicle get overturned, which can cause injury of the driver. So the figure 4 shows the case 3 scenario. So this is all about the direct collision. Let's move to the indirect collision. So in indirect collision, an accident occurs because of animal only, but not directly. It means the driver of one vehicle finds an animal on highway and tries to change the direction or the lane and collides with the another vehicle which is running on the another lane. So this figure 5 shows the indirect collision, and just because of saving the animal, the driver hits to the another vehicle and gets collide with the another vehicle. So in all the cases discussed above, that is in direct collision as well as in indirect collision, if the driver has some automatic animal detection system in the vehicle, then it is possible to some extent to prevent injuries and collision between animals and vehicle. So basically these are the objective and scope of the work, that is to avoid the hitting between animals and the vehicle collision. So the objectives are to develop a low-cost automatic animal detection system so that we can mount this system on the vehicle, and it should be practically happen. And the second objective is finding the approximate distance of animal from vehicle in which camera is mounted, and to develop an alert system, and once the animal gets detected on the road, which may help the driver in applying brakes or taking some other necessary actions for avoiding collision between animal and vehicle. So let's move to the HO. So these are the algorithms used to implement the system. So HOG and cascade classifier. So this block diagram explains the HOG algorithm. So HOG is basically histogram of oriented gradients and is used in computer vision applications for detecting objects in video or images. So this is the block diagram of HOG, and this is the block normalization of HOG. So these are the steps that should follow. So first the input image is given to the color normalization block, and the color normalization block is used for object recognition on color images. And then the second step is to calculation of the computation of gradient values. The next step of the calculation is involving creating cell histograms, and finally the image goes to the cascade classifier for classification of the object. So this is the block diagram, and these are the steps that our algorithm follows, and finally the output of this HOG algorithm is given to the cascade classifier. So this is the boosted cascade classifier. Basically, cascading is a concatenation of various classifier. So this technique involves taking all collected data from output of the first classifier as a supplementary data for the next classifier in the group. So basically, the function of these filters is like a windows as an object if and only if all layers of the cascade classify it as object, and the work of this filter is designed such that it can reject the possibly large number of non-object windows and to allow possibly large number of object windows for quick evaluation. So basically this classifier rejects the non-object windows and accepts the object windows. So this is the system architecture diagram of the system that is to avoid collision between animals and vehicles. So these are the steps. So basically, uh, the camera is mounted on a vehicle, and once the video is taken from forward facing camera in which moving animal is present apart from other stationary and non-stationary object, then after taking the video, store the video and convert the video into frames. So here some we will require some pre-processing steps to enhance the image. Then there is a combination of HOG and boosted cascade classifier for feature extraction and learning of the system. So once the animal get detected, the next job is to find the distance between animal from the testing vehicle, and once the distance has been calculated, then alert the driver so that he can apply brake or perform any other action. So this is how this is the distance calculation. This diagram shows the depth in meters versus pixel. So the future scope for this project is to the system can detect. So this system can detect animal up to the distance of 20 meters when vehicle is in stationary, and the system can prevent collision of the vehicle with animal when driving speed is up to the 18 to 22 mph. So the future scope is to uh, increases distance. So in this way, this system is implemented, and these are the bibliography part. Thank you.